10 Weird British Snacks. Britain has always marched to the beat of its own drum when it comes to food. While other countries chase elegance or novelty, British snacks often embrace practicality, nostalgia, and a stubborn refusal to explain themselves. Many of these treats were born in factory towns, corner shops, and pubs, shaped by habit rather than trend. To outsiders, they can seem baffling, even alarming. To locals, they are comfort in edible form. These strange British snacks tell stories of childhood, routine, and a nation quietly proud of its peculiar tastes. 10. Pork scratchings. Few snacks announce their presence quite like pork scratchings. Dense, salty, and unapologetically crunchy, they are made from fried pork rind, often with a thick strip of fat still attached. Their texture alone can shock first-timers. Unlike crisps, they don't dissolve politely in the mouth. They demand commitment. Pork scratchings have long been associated with British pubs, where they sit on shelves near the bar, usually in modest packaging. They were never meant to be glamorous. Their appeal lies in their blunt honesty. What you see is exactly what you get. No seasoning disguises the flavour. No clever branding softens the experience. Historically, scratchings were a way to use every part of the animal, a practical habit rooted in working-class Britain. Over time, they became a ritual snack, especially alongside beer. The saltiness makes thirst inevitable, which never hurt pub sales. To outsiders, the idea of eating hardened pork skin as a snack feels extreme. To regulars, it's simply tradition. Crunchy, greasy, and strangely satisfying, pork scratchings remain a reminder that British snack culture often values substance over subtlety. 9. Pickled onion monster munch. Pickled onion flavour is already intense. Shaping it into bright, monster-shaped maize snacks somehow makes it even bolder. Pickled onion monster munch doesn't tiptoe into your senses. It bursts in. The smell is usually the first surprise. Open a packet and the room instantly knows. The flavour follows quickly. Sharp, vinegary, slightly sweet, and lingering. It's the kind of snack that demands a drink nearby. Monster Munch became popular with children partly because of its playful shapes, but the flavour is anything but childish. Pickled onion is a very British obsession, appearing in crisps, snacks, and pub counters across the country. This version simply turns the volume up. What makes it weird is how loved it remains despite, or perhaps because of, its aggressiveness. Many Brits have strong memories attached to it: school trips, packed lunches, and sticky fingers. For visitors, the combination of cartoon monsters and eye-watering flavour can feel confusing. For locals, it's a nostalgic classic that never needed updating. 8. Twiglets. Twiglets look like something you'd normally sweep off a path rather than eat. Dark, knobbly, and uneven, they resemble tiny burnt twigs more than a snack. Their appearance alone has put many people off before the first bite. The flavour is where Twiglets truly divide opinion. Made with yeast extract, they carry a deep savoury taste that's intensely earthy and unmistakably British. There is no gentle introduction. You either understand it immediately or never will. Twiglets have been a fixture of British snack cupboards for decades, particularly around festive seasons. They often appear in bowls at gatherings, quietly testing relationships. The weirdness lies not just in the taste, but in the loyalty they inspire. People who love Twiglets don't merely like them, they defend them, they explain them, they insist others just try one more. For outsiders, the flavour can feel overwhelming. For fans, it's comfort food with an edge, proof that British snacks are happy to challenge the palate rather than please it. 7. Scampi fries. Scampi fries occupy a very specific corner of British snack culture. They are rarely eaten at home and almost always encountered in pubs. This context matters. These small maize snacks are flavoured to resemble fried seafood despite containing none. The smell is famously strong. often lingering long after the packet is empty. It's not subtle, and it doesn't pretend to be. Scampi fries became popular because they paired well with beer and offered something different from standard crisps. Their oddity was part of the appeal. Eating them felt like participating in a quiet pub tradition. What makes them weird is how normal they feel once you accept the setting. In a pub, they belong. Outside it, they feel almost out of place. To visitors, the idea of seafood-flavoured snacks in a bar can be puzzling. To regulars, they're just another part of the British pub experience. Odd, familiar, and strangely comforting. 6. Marmite rice cakes. Rice cakes are already divisive. They are light, dry, and often associated with restraint. Adding Marmite turns restraint into rebellion. Marmite rice cakes combine airy crunch with an intense savoury punch. The contrast is jarring at first. One moment, you're eating something that feels diet-friendly. The next, you're hit with a flavour that refuses to be ignored. Marmite itself is a cornerstone of British food debates. Spread it thinly, and it's acceptable. Spread it thickly, and opinions escalate quickly. Putting it on rice cakes somehow amplifies this effect. The weirdness lies in the contradiction. It's a snack that claims healthiness while delivering one of Britain's boldest flavours. It's practical, portable, and surprisingly addictive. To outsiders, it feels like a mixed message. To Brits, it's just another example of how snacks don't need to make sense to work. 5. Frazzles. Frazzles are bacon-flavoured crisps that don't look anything like bacon and don't try to. Pale pink and loosely rectangular, they resemble tiny foam tiles more than food. Despite this, the flavour is unmistakable. Smoky, salty, and savoury, Frazzles deliver a strong bacon impression using entirely artificial means. This honesty is part of their charm. They've long been a staple in lunchboxes and corner shops, especially during the 1980s and 1990s. Their soft crunch sets them apart from traditional crisps, making them oddly satisfying. What makes Frazzles weird is the gap between expectation and experience. They look harmless, almost bland, yet deliver a powerful taste. For visitors, the colour alone raises questions. For locals, Frazzles are nostalgic proof that British snacks don't need realism, just flavour and familiarity. 4. Tinned spaghetti hoops eaten cold. Spaghetti hoops themselves are not unusual. Soft pasta rings in sweet tomato sauce have been part of British cupboards for generations. The weirdness lies in how they are sometimes eaten. Cold, straight from the tin. No heating, no plate, often no explanation. This habit developed from convenience rather than rebellion. It's quick, filling, and requires no preparation. Over time, it became quietly normal in certain households. The texture changes when cold, the sauce thickens, the pasta firms slightly. For those raised with it, this is comforting. For outsiders, it's baffling. Eating cold spaghetti hoops isn't about flavour innovation. It's about familiarity and efficiency, a snack that prioritises function over ceremony. It may not look appealing, but it reflects a deeply British relationship with food, practical, unpretentious, and unconcerned with judgment. 3. Discos, salt and vinegar. Discos are not subtle crisps. Especially in salt and vinegar form, they are designed to be intense. Thicker than many crisps and aggressively seasoned, they deliver a sharp hit that can make eyes water. The vinegar is strong, metallic, and unapologetic. Discos became popular in pubs and shops because they didn't fade into the background. One crisp was enough to remind you they were there. What makes them weird is how extreme they are compared to their simple appearance. Flat, circular, and plain, they hide a powerful punch. To visitors, they can feel overwhelming. To fans, that intensity is the entire point. They are crisps that don't believe in moderation. 2. Chocolate-covered digestive biscuits. Digestive biscuits were originally designed as a plain, mildly sweet accompaniment to tea. Covering them in chocolate turned them into something else entirely. To British eyes, this makes perfect sense. To outsiders, it raises questions. Why coat a biscuit named after digestion in chocolate? The result, however, is undeniably good. The crumbly base balances the sweetness of the chocolate, creating a snack that works equally well with tea or on its own. The weirdness lies in the name rather than the taste. Digestives don't sound indulgent. Yet, chocolate digestives are among Britain's most popular sweet snacks. They sit in that uniquely British space between practicality and pleasure, proof that labels don't always matter. 1. Pickled eggs. Pickled eggs are perhaps the most visually arresting British snack. Sitting in jars behind pub counters, they float in vinegar, pale and unmistakable. The flavour is sharp, acidic, and lingering. The texture is firm, sometimes rubbery. They are eaten whole, often without accompaniment. Pickled eggs have deep roots in pub culture, where preservation was practical and flavour boldness was welcomed. Over time, they became a test of bravery for some and a comfort for others. What makes them the weirdest British snack is their refusal to adapt. They haven't softened their image or changed their flavour. They exist exactly as they always have. To outsiders, they are shocking. To regulars, they are simply part of the furniture. British snacks don't chase trends or approval. They reflect history, habit, and a quiet confidence in doing things differently. From vinegary eggs to twig-shaped crisps, these odd treats reveal a culture that values familiarity over fashion and isn't afraid to embrace flavour, texture, and tradition. No explanations required. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell.